What is a confession you haven't told anyone? My mother named me after my dead brother and regrets it. My mom and I always had a strenuous relationship. Officially, she has 3 children. My sister, me and my brother. Last year, she told that when she was 17, she got pregnant but lost that child, a boy, she planned to name Jason when she was 7 months along. Back then, the doctors apparently told her that she would most likely never have children, but obviously that wasn't true. She told me that she named me after my brother, seeing me as an extension of him, what and who he could have been. She also says that she has regretted this decision since I was 5, because she can't look at me without thinking about what my brother would have been like. I also have a younger brother whom she adores, because as she says, she always saw him as his own person, an individual who she has not projected her own expectations and trauma on. None of my siblings know about our older brother. My grandparents aren't allowed to talk about it, and I am the only one besides my mom that knows where she has buried him. Baby clothes, images, stuffed animal. My entire life I knew that she treated me differently than her other children. More distant. I can't help but hate her for it. She is my mom. I will always love her. But I can't forget 20 years of being treated like I don't exist. I need to stop thinking about my friend romantically. I'm a happily married man. I love my wife, but lately I've started to develop feelings for my friend. I don't want to cheat on my wife, but I find myself thinking about my friend all the time, thinking about what life would be like with her. I feel awful. I hate myself for feeling like this. Last night I had a dream that she got engaged to her boyfriend and I woke up heartbroken. I'm pathetic. To clarify, I work closely with her, so it makes it all the more inappropriate for me to feel like this, but I also can't shut her out of my life. She hasn't seemed to have noticed my feelings about her. Please help. Edit. I have no intention of following up on these thoughts and feelings. I just want advice to help me move past them. Update. I've taken on board what a lot of you are saying. I took some time to interrogate my relationship with my wife. I think the issue is that we have been trying and failing to conceive for 2 years now, and instead of processing that healthily, my mind ran away from the problem, searching for external comfort instead of with my wife. I withdrew from the pain, instead of finding comfort in and comforting my wife. I took time last night to really think about my wife, to think about everything that has affected us over the past few years. I broke down. I had blinded myself to the true depth of the love I feel for her. In comparison, anything I felt for my coworker is like holding a match up to the sun. I'm embarrassed and ashamed that it even got as far as it did. I made the conscious decision to woo my wife again, to court her like I did in the beginning. I'd lost contact with that part of myself, the part that would send her stupid text messages throughout about a dog I'd seen or what I had for lunch. My plan for if anything resembling those feelings comes back is to pick up my phone and text my wife. I'm still at the beginning of this journey and it's going to take time. I won't see my colleague again until Monday, but I'm hopeful that I can draw a line under all this and forget about her. Thank you all for your advice. I'm going to spend the rest of my life making up for what could have been the biggest mistake of my life and making my wife feel all the love she deserves. I want to be the man she thinks I am. I stole my friend's idea at work and got promoted for it. A few months ago, during a brainstorming session at work, one of my close colleagues shared an innovative idea for a project. At the time, I didn't say much, but the idea stuck with me. A week later, during a one-on-one meeting with our manager, I brought up the idea as if it had come from me. I didn't mention my colleague's name or give them any credit. The manager loved the idea and assigned me to lead the project. The project went well, and just last week, I received a promotion partly due to its success. My colleague congratulated me sincerely, completely unaware that it was originally their idea that put me in the spotlight. I feel incredibly guilty every time I see them. Their talented and hardworking, and I stole an opportunity that should have been theirs. The promotion feels hollow, and I'm constantly paranoid that the truth might come out one day. I regret my actions deeply. In that moment, I was selfish and insecure, thinking that I needed to seize any opportunity to get ahead. Now, I wish I could go back and handle it differently. Something horrible I did, and I can't get this out of my head still to this day. Back when I was 14, I wanted to get a girlfriend, but I went to an only boys school and wasn't really social to do anything about it. I ended up adding a girl on Snapchat from my middle school who was also kinda shy, and that felt like I had a chance with. So every day I would text her, and it only got worse. I would insist on asking her to hang out, play a game with me, or to call, even when she would always say no, but I just kept persisting anyway, because I always thought I had a chance. At one point, I couldn't stop thinking about her would always have weird thoughts with me and her, and also at one point I thought about kissing her without consent, if we did hang out, I guess because my mind was so ingrained with fantasy, and romance shows and movies. As you can tell at that point, I never had a girlfriend, and still to this day I'm well with women, and I also had a very high ego and was borderline narcissistic and antisocial. Thankfully, that stuff has passed and nothing ever happened with her, and I even said sorry and apologized, but I still can't get it out of my head. I try to be more polite, I guess, when I do try to be with women now. For example, one girl rejected me, and I just left it at that and never talked to her again. But why am I confessing? Well, it's not because I want to feel better about myself. No, because I have a humiliation fetishized, but because I just can't get this stuff out of my head. Even with my ego change and personality is way different, I still can't change the past, and I will always remember this, and I don't know what to do. It's been driving me to insanity and depression multiple times, and I even put this on Reddit multiple times too. I speak with my therapist about it, and he just says I was being persistent, but I don't know. It's my fault, and mine's only, and I just don't know what to do.
Every day, I worry about being homeless. I don't know what I'm going to do. At 17, I left my hometown to escape familial issues. I've been in this new city ever since. It's slowly being gentrified by rich people moving out of Texas and California. My city is slowly but surely getting more and more expensive. Every day I fear what will happen if I don't find an apartment in my budget within this next month and a half. I have no family to fall back on, once lost most of my friends. I have a boyfriend who is out of town in college until this weekend, and I'm slowly losing my mind. I keep making impulsive choices, overspending, smoking weed. I'm just losing my mind, I feel. Ironically, both of my parents are homeless and on drugs separately. I'm so scared I'll become like that, and I'm doing my best to stay in the right track, but I'm just so exhausted. Always looking for a break. Always in survival mode. Update. Thank you so much to everyone who replied in the comments. I went home after work yesterday and flushed it all. Put my beloved fishy pipe, it's literally a fish-shaped one-hitter, he will be missed dearly, and the rest of my weed paraphernalia away and plan to give it to a friend. I didn't do a last smoke or anything. I think I knew that was just an excuse, so cold turkey it is. My plan is not only to go until 2025 ends, but February of 2026, so on New Year's I don't try to go crazy with it. It's crazy, but I already feel better. It feels good to put effort into myself. I forgot what this was like, honestly. Maybe next year I'll update again, who knows? Reddit is usually an abhorrent, depressing place, but this really was the wake-up call I needed. Thanks, you guys. I ratted out an elderly diabetic in the hospital, probably violating his medical privacy. While my husband was in the hospital awaiting surgery, they put him in a shared room. I was visiting, and the elderly man in the next bed got a visitor who seemed to be his son. I couldn't not hear them, although I tried not to be a snoop. The dad was griping that he was stuck in the hospital until they could find him a nursing home to go live in because of his diabetes. The son said the hospital told him that Dad, was admitted because his blood sugar was high. The dad confirmed this, then a few minutes later, confessed that he'd snuck some of his sugar-free chocolates in. He said he only ate 2 of them, and he didn't think they'd make his blood sugar go that high. The son didn't seem worried about that, but I know that sugar-free chocolates can still make your blood sugar spike. A few minutes later, a nurse came in to check his blood sugar. She was shocked to see it was almost 400. She said out loud how she didn't understand. He had only eaten a small lunch since his last test, and she thought the equipment must be malfunctioning. Now I was really paying attention. She left to go find a different test kit. I was shaking my head as the old guy did not confess his secret chocolates. She came back and tested him again, and it was about the same. He still didn't confess. She said she had to go prepare some insulin for him. She was clearly frustrated and mystified. I have diabetics and nurses in my family, so I couldn't just let this slide. I had to let the nurse know. I told my husband I'd be back in a minute and stepped out. I saw the nurse down the hallway typing into a computer terminal, so I stopped next to her and quietly told her that I overheard the old gentleman telling his son he had snuck in some sugar-free chocolates into the hospital when he was admitted. She immediately got this wow look on her face, and she said, "Oh, that explains it." I told her that I didn't want her thinking that his diabetes was really that bad, or that he had some other serious medical problem, or even that her testing equipment didn't work. I told her he was just sneaky, loved his chocolates, and clearly didn't want to confess to a nurse. She whispered to me that the reason he was going to a nursing home was because his blood sugar was out of control, and he needed to be where someone could manage it for him. I told her I already heard that from him, which is part of why I wanted her to know about the secret chocolates. She was very grateful. I just asked her not to tell him that she knew about the chocolates, as then, the old man would know that his roommate's wife ratted him out.
For more videos like this, don't forget to like and subscribe.